is not perfect. It's far away from being perfect. And like I said, I come from Poland, and a very religious country, a lot of saints. And I grew up in this beautiful religion. My mom was very, very Catholic. My father was on the other side. He was going to church, but not very Catholic. And, since the very beginning, since I went to school, there was always someone around with trying to read your hand or setting putting the cards and all that stuff. So yeah, it's so sad that we are growing up with things like this. They are like natural, like, reading a cards. I would never thought it is so scary. I was introduced to this very early, and that's how everything starts. You want to know what's going to happen. And this is unfortunately what is lacking in our faith. We are trying to know what's going to happen. So we right away, we contradicting, our faith, which is not right. So I've been always obsessed with, wanted to know what's happening. I get heavy into astrology during my teens and later on after college. And I was continuing for many, many years. And I came to US around 2001. And don't want to get too much into personal life, but I wasn't close to God at all. Actually, the moment I came to this country, I really dived into reading a cartola, you name it, all kind of stuff. It's available everywhere. And I didn't speak English when I came, so all I did was like learning from those New Age books. That's how I learned English, honestly. And it's plenty everywhere. And then I get into about late 2000, 2005, 2004. I was looking for some kind of form of moving body. And I found about Pilates, and later on I found out about yoga. So I was fascinated with the Pilates, and I started this training. However, I got pregnant, and I walked away from this for many years, and then I went back to it later on. So in 2009-10, I wanted to rediscover movement, and it just happened that yoga was everywhere. And I met a woman who was doing yoga training, and I got into it. Oh boy, big time. So I did the yoga training, and I started teaching yoga after this. I never felt comfortable, and actually I have to say, the more I did it, the more uneasy I became. A lot of more, never peaceful. I could never find, peace, deep peace. And I was far away from going to church, far away from everything. I was going even more into yoga and all those gurus, and going around the country, and staying on those ashrams, whatever they call. And very, very unhappy. I was always looking for a form of ensuring me that everything will be okay. As a result, I was around 2017, 18, I was doing even more of the reading, about my kids reading, and I just felt I could not find peace. I thought that something has to happen. I didn't know what. I kind of tried to have a plan, but I really did not have a plan. I was very unhappy. And around 2018, after summer, where I did a lot of reading, a lot of you name it what, around September 2018, I started feeling very uncomfortable. And around September, my daughter had a birthday, and I thought, I'm going to order for her a reading cards, tarot or something like that. And I did. And right after I did the order, it was like snap in my head. What did you just did? What is happening with you? You know, you're messing up, and now you want to mess up your child. So it was like a, you know, lightning went through my head, and I immediately, you know, my responsibility is my kids right now, right? And my plan was actually move to the place where yoga people live. Actually, that year, at the end of the year, I was planning to move out from where I live to the ashram. I really was thinking about this. And around September, around this time, the birthday of my daughter, my whole world was shaking, you know, like everything was like, I didn't know what was happening. I felt very uncomfortable teaching yoga for a while already. I felt very uncomfortable doing a lot of things related to yoga. A lot of things started making me feel really uncomfortable and yucky. And right after my birthday is October 7th, which is Holy Mother of the Rosary. I didn't even know before that. So around my birthday, I had a dream. My mom came to my dream. My mom passed away in 2015. And after, I don't remember exactly the dream, but the dream, it was, I don't know, it was good or bad dreams, but I realized, I always promised my mom that I'm going to baptize my kids. And I haven't done that. And that was a big time for me to realize. There was this moment, it's like, oh my gosh, my kids are, you know, almost 12, 11, 12, and I haven't baptized them. My life is a mess. I keep running after I don't know where. This is all going into who knows where. And I could not find any peacefulness in my heart. You know, it's like running crazy. But what I started doing, I started becoming very uncomfortable with all the teachings. I still was teaching yoga, but I felt like I'm in the wrong place. I had a goosey bumps just going and doing what I was doing. So first of all, my sister, who is living nearby me, she for the last few years, she was very close to God and told me that she was praying for me. So one day she came and I said to her, I'm going to go for a mass. And she started laughing. I said, how, what are you talking about? And it just happened that Catholic church, exactly across from where I live. It was right there. And I was always laughing at this. And then, and she said, you're kidding me. I said, no, I'm not. I felt like, you know, it's like you're telling someone you're going to the Mars, you know? Yeah, I'm going. I'm leaving the door. I'm going to the Mars. And it's just impossible. She could not believe, but I did it. I went. I feel so weird. I just felt that this is going to be the most uncomfortable feeling I could have it, but I felt that I need to go. After this, you know, it's in English. I'm used to do mass in Polish. I felt something that this is the right thing to do right now. After the mass, I went to talk to a lady who is in charge of religious education. And without even talking to my kids, I said, could you please prepare my kids to baptize them? She said, sure. What happened is that actually I knew her 10 years earlier. She used to live in my building, so we met briefly. So it was I don't believe in coincidence. She recognized me, I recognized her. And that's how everything started. I started talking to my kids, and it was very difficult because they thought I'm crazy. And it was very difficult. I can't even explain to you how difficult it was. It was impossible. You know, it's just, again, it's just like you're going against everybody else. Everybody. But I focus on what I'm supposed to do, on what I promised my mom. That was the biggest thing that I really focused on. And I think she came to me in a couple of more times in my dreams. And the most uncomfortable things was starting to pray because I knew some prayers from when I was a child. And, you know, the Our Father, Hail Mary. But I just feel after all the years of meditation, of cards, and all this guru, it was uncomfortable, but I was familiar with that. So I'm talking about, it's like now when I'm talking about it, it just feels like you have a huge rock in front of you and you have a really steep, a mountain, and actually not that steep, but it's going to be hard, it's not going to be easy. And I started pushing it and pushing, and I have no idea how to explain you how hard it was. It was not easy at all. So I started praying. I started, going on YouTube and, finding some prayers. Getting my kids to baptize was so difficult. It was not easy. The whole process, 6 months, it was painful. I was crying, all the time. And I talked to my daughter. My son was very resistant, terribly, very, very resistant. And I found out about Rosary. I know that it's Rosary, but I never really prayed Rosary. So I started praying Rosary, and I noticed that it gave me strength. So I started having less and less doubts. I just really pray for Mother Mary to take over my worries, my impossibilities, everything what I was dealing with. I started cleaning my apartment from all the New Age stuff. I just started cleaning, throwing out the books. Someone told me, don't give it to someone, just throw it away. Don't pass on anybody. And I had so much stuff, rocks, stones, you name it. A lot. And I keep finding, but less and less right now. And even if I found, I feel like really it's okay, just one more thing. So around 2019, so it's 2018, 19, my kids were baptized. They were baptized in 2019 in June. The day they were baptized, I thought it's not going to happen. My son gave me such a hard time to do it. I cried. I was shaking. Like I said, I did novena to Mary. I did whatever I could. And it happened. They were both baptized. And slowly, a few months later, my son started getting really close. He started going more with me. My daughter is okay. She goes to church. She understands how important it is. I've been telling her. She was exposed to a lot of stuff that she should not until now. But she's big enough to understand now this is not something you play with. You have to be very careful. There is a lot of interest. She's a teenager that kids are going into. And again, it's like I said, it starts with fun. It's really not fun. The other thing is important that I went to the shrine, and we had gathering people from all over, East Coast pretty much, Poles, and there were bishops coming related to the Holy Spirit movement, charismatic movements, and it was really interesting because I met the most amazing, influential Polish lady who is kind of who we supposed to meant to meet. She is my guide. She's my guide. She went to Medjugorje many, many times. She has 2 grown-up sons, and she's kind of like ahead of me, and she's guiding me through the hardest struggle with my kids so far, just going through this process. I asked many people to pray for me to have their kids baptized. The first time when I returned and I started going to communion, I started having peace. But again, it's not like it's happening over the night. We need to build relationship with God. The way He will guide us, it's beyond, it blows out our heads. we are not able to comprehend, no matter how smart we are, how he can guide us if we let him, if we say, look, that's it. I have no more plans. I don't want to, whatever. You guide me. Give me a power, give me a faith, give me whatever I need to do to stay close to you and never walk away again. Give me the power from the sacraments, because we as Catholics, we have this amazing gift for free. We can go to church and we can feed ourselves every day with the gospel and with communion, and we can have confession every day at the very beginning of our Mass. So it's just incredible how many gifts we have that, and we don't use it. And that's how the power comes. We get fed by his body. And if you believe in this, it's amazing. It's not like my life is amazing, like when I'm talking about, I'm far away from being perfect, and it's, my life is a mess. I made a lot of mistakes, but I trust that he will guide me, and he shows me in the right time everything what I'm supposed to do. And that's how I go about every day pretty much now. I would know that he will guide me. I have the faith. Is it easy? No, it's not. It's not very not easy. But I think I get my strength from a rosary, from praying to Saint Archangel Michael, from seeing my son, and being really, maybe I'm on the other side now a little bit too much, but I think that that's good. There are a number of things happened to me, end of the 2002 that, I know there was Satan. I know that there was him, he comes and, he's trying to mess it up with me. But, the more, the harder he hits me, then, the less I react to him. That's the whole thing. We don't want to react to him. We need to be strong, with the gospel, with Bible. We really, I strongly recommend read it a little bit every day, and surround yourself with people who are close to God. Otherwise, we're tuning into there's so much out there. And if we are not really close to him, if we don't have a personal prayer and relationship with him, if we don't spend time, that we'll never become friends with him. You can't have a friend or someone who guides you if you connect with him once a week, on Sunday. That's not going to work. So it's a very important to do every day. What else I can say is, when I'm looking back at how normal we think about, reading cards, trying to know a little bit, those things take us away from trusting God. That's how simple I can say. Those little, reading cards, or someone you we want to always know what's going to happen. That's why we got lost many times. We don't want to be where we are right now. That's the biggest problem. And until we surround ourselves to God and his, we have to ask him what he wants for us. Not when we always, I want this, I want this. No. He knows what's the best for us, and he will give us in the right time. That's basically what I can say. I talk to my kids about dangers. I talk to them all the time. So it's very important to talk about this, even they are teenagers, and, and I feel that, little things, we look for big things, but actually little things are very important. If we don't pray, then we won't recognize little things that are changing our life. I mean, when I look at my life the last 6 months, I just moved out recently. How did I found? I had to move. As something happened, I had to move. And, and I found this place where I live now. I love where I am right now. I would never thought that's going to happen without a lot of finances. So, things are happening, if you Saint Charbel, he's amazing. I prayed to him, special novena for 4 months, and he found me this place. And what I can say is, we really, it's all about what Faustina said. We have to trust in him, because if we don't trust, we look somewhere else, and that's how we get lost. You look out a little bit here, you read someone says, you get suggested by something, and that's it. That's how it goes. So we have to be really, really focused and clear on where we are every day in the morning, just before you go and do your stuff. Very important. What you record is that, before I completely stop the yoga, I have so many doubts. You can write it down. It's money. We need money from family. How am I supposed to do it? I teach class here, I teach class there, and a friend of mine that I met at the charismatic workshop, she told me this or this. There's nothing in between. All right. You have to stop or you never get out of this. So it was so hard for me. You have no idea. I mean, I don't know what to say. And I said, all right, I'm going to stop. But again, it's the fact that you have to first make decision. You can't be a little bit here, a little bit here. No, you got to get out from one thing so he can open. You're closing one door, he's opening another door for you. And the doors for me are, I can't even tell you what is happening to me. Even those difficult times, I still work. I love what I do. And, and he's continue guiding me. It's not perfect. I'm not living perfect life. I'm far away from perfect. But again, even if something happened to me today, tomorrow, even if something happened to me, that's another thing that I've been thinking about. What would happen to me if I drop that today? Where do I go? This is the most important for me right now. Because we think that everything will be beautiful and nice, and all that stuff. No, it's not. I think hell exists, and a lot of people live in the hell right now. I was one of this person that was living. I think this is something we have to work. This is definitely God's grace, but it's very important to allow the God grace to come to your life. If you just playing and maybe a little bit of this, maybe a little of this, and you're just trying to make this as a, once a while going here, to church, and that's not going to work. Now, we are living in really crucial times. You have to decide, are you on this side or on this side? There is nothing in between. You have to make the personal decision. That's how I think.